Yo, we back. Man, that Western Conference Finals was crazy last night, wasn't it, y'all?
Man,
hmm
for the
Damn, we got a
Boston.
missing member. We got a missing member. He gone missing. We had it and took him away.
It's okay missing in action.
Yep.
Man, it's
But
bad,
y'all, we
man.
back. Episode 21 or 22 ish. I got to count after this,
I
but
think it's 21.
yeah, 21. So episode 21, we back, and we normally was on yesterday, but we had to come back to give our reaction after game one, which we all was surprised. I'm pretty sure.
I would.
I I'm not even gonna lie to you. I saw them up 9 with 2 minutes left. I turned the game off and went to bed. I thought the game was over.
Damn,
I was that guy.
that brings back memories right there.
I woke up in the morning. I said, "Whoa, what the hell?"
What the hell? Yo,
So
my man's an apology. I've been on this man since the beginning of the playoff run. I was like, man, another deep playoff run. And then when he got to the Knicks, I just had the sneaky feeling.
so is this gonna be a 67 game series now? Is it confirmed?
Man, I
I
said it was a
think so.
7 game series beforehand.
Yeah, it should be 7.
I'm not gonna lie to you. OKC first half you did good. Let's go. Let's get the good out the way before I get to the bad. First half you did good. First quarter you forced. First 2 quarters you forced 18 turnovers. Defense did a great job. Let's get to the second half though. That fourth quarter where you go 0 for 9 from 3, and Indiana proceeds to go 6 for 9, and proceeds to beat you when you were up 9 with 2 minutes left in the game. If you were at that point where Halliburton was about to get that shot, would you have doubled?
You can't double a good passer. Like that's just the
Yeah,
fastest way to fastest way to give up. And then you're only up by one at this point too. Now if you're up by
right.
3, sure, I double him
And
because
whoever
now
makes it.
yeah, whoever makes it. We got OT to face it. OT, the worst you could do is OT at that point. But when you're up by just one, you can't afford to double,
Mhm.
especially when quick layup with them running it out. Assuming this is Hallie we thinking about, and he was definitely taking the last shot. Maybe you should have doubled. But I'm just like, man, a good passer with good instincts, playing with fire there, especially with
So,
the way
Right.
this team is going.
so who, in y'all opinion, deserves the most blame for this loss? The coach,
SGA,
SGA. Oh, I was gonna say SGA, who in the fourth quarter he was a no show.
no show, and he had. I mean, the shot he had was very much makeable.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Just
and
didn't
he
make it.
normally makes that midi. He normally
He
makes
don't
it.
miss that man.
I will
And he was
say,
going off.
I will say, uh, Indiana had a bunch of uncharacteristic turnovers. Like I
Right.
think they had 22 or 25, somewhere off there.
Mm-hmm.
22, 25 turnovers, somewhere in there.
10 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
You
10
can
in the
tell
first quarter, but they
Yeah.
only gave up 12 points off of that. So I'm like,
Right.
normally you turn it over against OKC, it's a layup on the other
30.
end.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and you give them 20, I would have thought this game was a blowout, but the fact that Indiana made sure they didn't cash in on them speaks volumes about what I thought, because I really thought Indiana's only shot was they had to play a little defense, and I just didn't
Right.
know if they had the pieces to play defense against OKC.
And I'll say this: I think that first quarter, really those first couple turnovers, was they haven't been on a final stage before outside of Siakam.
Right.
The rest of that team,
Yeah,
because you could
just
tell Newton Newhart, you could tell Halliburton, you could tell McConnell, they all was pushing it way too much, especially Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin had some really stupid turnovers where the ball just kept slipping through his hand. And it's like, okay, are
right.
y'all just pushing the pace too much, pressing too much because of the stage, and also that you're away and not at home?
Oh,
As
okay, yeah, I
opposed
did
to,
bet so.
and OKC came out cool, calm, collected. I think they got too cool at the end instead of press more. And I get the SGA shot was good, but maybe you could have ran an action instead of just going straight ISO. Maybe a pick and roll, try to force them to double SGA, and you drop it off to Chet or Havenstein, and they could do their floater. There's multiple options you could have done just so that we get SGA is a great player, but let's put him in an action to force the defense to try to react. And
But
if
I mean,
give SGA the
Right.
best shot,
Indiana did the same thing though, so I can't
Yeah.
fault the logic here. You want your best player to get the best possible shot at the end of the game to
hmm
Right.
to clinch it. So I mean, One shot went in, one didn't, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
And I got to
I'm
give
not
my
gonna.
mic here to my Knicks fan here. What you got to say to our missing OKC fan as far as Halliburton? And I know this was reminiscent, so might be too soon to bring it up. It was reminiscent of the Knicks series. But what you got to tell the OKC fan that's missing?
I ain't got much to say to him. Hey, they lost. I just think, I'm sure it hurt more that I don't have nothing to say. But I think the worst thing was like OKC made adjustments even before playing the Pacers. Like they took out Hockey Stein, they put in someone else. When you do that, it's like you already kind of showing them, hey, we're trying
We're
to
in your
prepare for you.
head.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think that they did good because the Pacers could not run their shooting gun offense all game for the majority of the first half. They just couldn't do it. Kept turning it over, was just too scared. But what the Pacers did was they kept themselves in the game. OKC cannot put them away. They might get up by 12, then they get a clutch 3, get it down to 6, back up to 9. They just stayed around. So when that fourth quarter turned in and they start hitting them shots, at that point you don't want to double you don't want to double Halliburton because all you gotta do is dish it back out. So I think that OKC put themselves in a bad predicament by not closing the game away. At some point SGA should have took over and just put the game away, but they couldn't do that. So
Could have even went to foul, baby. As much as I hate seeing SGA do it, try to get yourself to the foul line to get your team going, slow the game down.
That too, yeah.
In their defense, I was watching them last 2 minutes in particular. They weren't calling fouls. I don't know if that
They
foul
take the whistle.
baiting. I don't know if that
They
foul baiting
swallowed it.
thing got it. Yeah, that foul baiting thing got to him in the last minute or so. There was some obvious contact on on them shots.
Hey man, they was out there playing hood basketball.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, it don't help when Tony Brothers referee though, man.
Ooh. We ain't gonna talk about Tony Brothers. Shoot, Jeff Teague had a story about.
Boy, got a history.
Yep. we gonna come back to OKC when our OKC fan here to get on them some more, but we also got some other news. Tibbs gone.
God is good.
Oh, so you,
What?
hey, wait. All right, so I got a couple.
I have a theory.
I thought
Go
maybe
ahead.
Tibbs should have. I thought they should have did the Boston. You know what Boston did with Brad Stevens? Hey Tibbs, you done a good job. You built the culture. How about we get you in the front office, away from coaching? We bring in a new coach. You could still be an advisor for defense specifically, and we don't just kick you out of here. I mean, he's got 50 wins.
With all due respect, he wasn't finna do that.
Hey, I'm gonna offer it now. If he don't
take
it. Now, if he don't take it, now he hitting the streets.
Yeah, it's on him. Yeah,
it's on him though. It's not on me. I gave you an option of, hey, I'm not trying to kick you out. You've done a good job. You beat the Celtics. You did what we wanted you to do this year. You just didn't get past the Pacers.
Right.
I have a legit problem here. The man took you to a conference championship. We've all been saying, like, his style is a hard-nosed style. I understand he was beefed out with Cat, especially in that Pacers series, but I like the man did take you to the best you've ever been since I don't know, since the late
25 years.
2000.
Yeah.
Yes,
Late 90s, basically. Yeah. It'd be hard for me to leave that, and then you're not replacing him with Mike Malone. You're talking about some experimental guy.
Johnny O'Brien from Cleveland. He's a
Yeah.
former assistant. He was the person that did the
That's crazy. That's stupid.
Now, if it's Mike Malone, I'm okay with this.
I agree with it. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, if it's okay with me, if it's Mike Malone, that's telling me, oh, Cat about to be the face of the offense. They about to do some of the stuff that Denver did, and you about to see Cat and Brunson look like Murray and Jokic, because that's one thing I did have. No, I'm saying this. Is how I have my notes. Brunson and Cat, even though they're both talented offensive players, we never saw them in pick and roll ever.
No,
and that's crazy to me, because if you double off Cat in the pick and roll, if you do the pick and pop, he's the best stretch big in the league. Jalen Brunson, we know he could take any guard one-on-one and can get buckets. That's something that was underutilized. Really, offensively, the Knicks was ISO all day.
That's the problem. I think he's just at his ceiling. I mean, hate to say it, but we see how he ran D Rose into the ground. He ran our team into the ground. I
Jimmy
mean,
Butler. Jimmy Butler
Jimmy
needs to.
Butler too. Yeah, and I think that the thing is like as the games kept going on, you just start hearing new players, and I'm like, where the hell this guy been? He's actually doing a decent job. That
Yeah, the
point
right.
guard, I forget. Yeah, so I think he's just underutilizing his team. Like I'm all for keeping your starters out there as long as you can. And I'm all for defense. Defense was great. But when you find out you have some players that are actually good, incorporate them. I think he tried to do that a little bit too late when he started changing the lineups and stuff.
Yeah.
So I like the coach that he brought. I mean, he did a great job. Hats off to him, but I don't think he can get us to a championship. He just his
And
culture, his mindset is just old school at this point. And it's like, all right, we need to get some.
Original.
Now I don't want no experimental ex player. I hate that. Like I don't want a Jason Kidd type coach. I don't want that.
I mean,
We need
I get what you're saying. Jason Kidd started not. I get what you're saying. Jason Kidd got
like,
to where he is now because he had so many years of failing.
like
Mhm.
literally, it took us 25 years to get here. I ain't trying to take it no more 10 years. Like I ain't trying to do that. That's gonna be a problem.
I
Like we
understand that.
need a lateral move right now, or elevation. But
I say Mike
he just
Malone.
has to go. I like
Mike
Mike Malone. I would
Malone.
love that.
People have been bringing out Mark Jackson. Everybody loves to bring his name up. He is a former Knick. It would make sense, but he's been gone so long.
He has, yeah.
It's like, let me look. Who
As
he
long as they
does
don't put
All due respect, I don't personally think player coaches win championships.
I don't like that.
I mean, Steve Kerr.
He's not a player's coach.
Well, okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Players, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get
you
what
know
you're saying.
exactly
Not
what
a
I'm
former
talking.
player. Okay, I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about a former player. Okay.
no. I'm talking about
I'm here for the chemistry. I'm here
I'm
for
here for the chemistry and
Right.
making sure the players are in
you
good
need a bunch of
standing
stars.
and you need. I think the Knicks need a schemer, like somebody you can come
Exactly.
in right there, can draw up a scheme and then give you just the right amount of plays. Kind of like what Brad Smith was for Boston before he moved up to the front office. Or was
Yeah,
it
Right.
Brad Stevens? Or
Brad Smith.
whatever. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
whatever he.
Like I don't want nobody like Steve Nash. I don't want nobody like J.R. Smith. I don't want that. Bring
Who
in
brought up
someone,
J.R.
especially not J.R. Smith. Nah,
Who brought up
bro.
Penny?
Nah, bro. That's the problem.
We might as well bring Melo off the bench. Heck, he
you,
right there.
you not lying, boy. You talking about ISOs?
Oh no, Melo gonna have that
Man,
mid range killing.
we'll win 40 games that year, bro. We ain't trying to do
So if let's say the Knicks do bring in this guy, he has to be an X's and O's guy. Is what we're saying. Do you
that.
think?
Right.
What's the first thing you emphasize? Are you keeping Cat? Because that's one thing they're talking about now is potentially trading Cat while his value is the highest.
I wouldn't. I'm not a fan for tearing the team down after you get so high. I mean, I wouldn't do that. My biggest thing would be Cat. Have a real conversation with them, Cat. Can we work on your post game? If you don't want to work on that, then we might need to trade you. Like
Yeah.
I love that you were stretch big. We really got to work on your post game because that's what really killed us. And also just his foul trouble. Like bro, like you fouling, you too emotional. Like we really need someone to just sit him down and just be like, stop being emotional. Just play the game. Just
But some of
Yeah.
his fouls be the stupidest. Like
stupid
it just be him pushing somebody. You like, bro, that's your third
What
foul. What you doing?
Yeah, yeah,
exactly? Like he got no. Like I think Draymond's done said it. Charles Barkley called him out in the press conference, which is personally wild to me, and he just laughing it off. I'm like, oh, I know he's not serious. Then it's
yeah.
just
See,
one of
that's the
those
thing.
things. He has no situational awareness. It seems like when it comes to the fouling.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's my problem with him. Because offensively, outside
He's
of
great.
outside of Jokic, he's the second most talented big in the league.
Maybe Embiid.
Mm,
I don't count him. He's always D and D. He's always
We
gone.
just talking
He
talent
always
now. We're
gone.
not talking availability. I'm just saying I
I mean,
take Embiid.
no. Okay, if we bring up hurt players, then sure, my boy,
My boy got a whole bias. He from Philly. You love Philly.
dude. Yeah.
I see what he's saying though. Like,
No. He barely
you
on the court
know,
though.
your best ability is your
His
availability,
availability.
you know.
Hey
Embiid,
man, I'm just saying, I ain't
if
no Embiid defender. I jumped
it
that
used to
ship a
be.
long time ago.
But okay, if we put hurt players, Embiid fully healthy potentially. Okay,
Yeah, and
that's
then it's Cat.
then it's Cat then Wemby.
Yeah,
But Cat, I think like you said,
Indeed.
work on the post
I'm
game,
just
get
messing.
more aggressive in the post. Like you
Yeah.
don't get more aggressive in the post. And I say, instead of taking 6 to 7 threes, try to take 4 to 5. Like just we
Yeah,
don't need you.
45.
We don't need you out here shooting like you Clay. We know you
Yeah.
can shoot 40%, 39, 40% from three. That's cool. We need you getting them bigs and in foul trouble.
Right. I
So
tell you what would help Cat if KG mentored him. If Kevin Garnett would just mentor that man for like one summer, it'd be good.
I say bring in if you're the Knicks, you got to call Ewing. Call Patrick
Yeah,
Ewing.
Patrick
And Patrick
Ewing
Ewing
too.
said to that Georgetown player, "Why you taking that shot? Do you practice that shot?"
How many times you practiced that shit? I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Bring in somebody that can coach him that hard. And just
Right,
really a big man coach. Just bring in a big man
right,
coach to focus purely on fixing cats post game, or not even fixing it,
right.
just getting them more aggressive. Because you see glimpses of it too.
Yeah, you see glimpses
he's
when he
too
getting double
big.
teamed.
He's too
He's yeah,
fast, and he shoots the three well enough.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't, like I said, we all agree we wouldn't trade him, especially that goes to my next segment. Y'all already know what they trying to trade him for.
Who,
Oh
Giannis?
Lord, Katie.
KD. They had
And I
Giannis on the
heard
list. They had Giannis on the list, but you ain't gonna like who it was gonna cost. It was Cat, OG for Giannis. It was Cat, OG, and the rest of y'all like picks y'all have for Giannis and Kuz.
I don't get that. One player, I don't like that. And I also heard that they was trying to get a deal for KD at the deadline. I'm happy that didn't go through. That
Them
I
and the
don't like
Spurs.
that.
Yeah.
We don't want him. I don't want him. But
So let's see. So you vote with keep the core together. Don't tear it down. Fix some coaching. Let's get some new schemes in. Maybe try to get some minor depth pieces to come in and fix the bench a little bit.
yeah, get a reliable six man. I mean, Cameron Payne was solid in playoffs. He just messed up.
Miles McBride.
Miles McBride was okay, streaky, but okay. We need someone that could just be like a six man of the year. That's really what we need. That's
My boy
really what
Vasquez having technical difficulties, y'all.
we just need a six man of the year candidate. And I think after that we'll be straight, man. We'll be real good.
Mm-hmm. Let's go into our next segment, which was midnight ain't here for this one either. Aaron Rodgers finally signed. He finally walking through the door. He's done with his sabbatical.
I'm excited line.
So A-Rod's here. Can the Steelers make the playoffs? Is Mike T back over 500?
I mean, it's Mike T, so I'm not opposed to it. My only thing is I really wonder how Mike T and Aaron Rodgers actually play and pan out because we know how Aaron Rodgers, he's a great player, phenomenal player, Hall of Famer player. But the way he personality, and then I thought about this. You just get rid of George Pickens due to personality, problem, all that stuff. Then you bring in Aaron Rodgers. You saw how it worked out with the Jets. I mean, he's an upgrade from Will Howard, although I think Will Howard would be solid in the coming years. But I don't know how that offense will work with Aaron Rodgers and with Mike T. I'm really eager to see that.
The only reason I like this one, Vosky's back, y'all. Wait a second. Are you back, Vosky?
Yeah.
All right, we talking about A-Rod. The only thing I like is Mike Teason had a big personality quarterback before with Big Ben. So I don't think it'll be as bad. I think the main thing that I like this time compared to the Jets, A-Rod ain't in full control. I hadn't seen Randall Cobb, Lazard, his OC,
Yeah, no
all the
demand.
little homies. That was my whole problem with the Jets experiment. That Jets team was good as is. He didn't even need to touch it. You had Gary Wilson. You had Brees Hall. Now, they need to touch that O-line, but that was about it.
In fairness, to A-Rod, he didn't really interject like I thought he was in the Jets.
Right.
Wait.
I thought it could have been a lot worse than just a couple receivers.
A couple
his
receivers?
last 5 games was okay. I mean,
Not a couple. 3 of your receiving core, Cobb, Lazard, Adams came in and pissed off Wilson because he was getting more touches.
I mean, like I said, outside of the
Why
receiver
wouldn't he?
problem, And then here's the thing: it wasn't like Alan Lazard wasn't performing. Like I thought, okay, he's actually a pretty decent number three.
My problem was you overpaid him.
Yeah, now I do agree with
Well,
that.
yes,
But I'm like,
You overpaid him, and really the part that messed it up to me was the OC. You bought in what's the old dude name? What's Aaron
oh
Rodgers?
yeah, I think that killed him. Like that was the
yeah.
biggest glaring thing.
And I just feel like they didn't. They were so focused on the pass. Like Brees Hall could be a 1,200-yard back every
Yeah,
year.
oh yes, Brees Hall
Like use
was
him. Yeah,
underutilized. Like they should have
Yeah,
been a run first offense
underutilized.
and play action.
Right.
Like that was my problem. But this does set up an interesting scenario. Week 1, Pittsburgh goes to play the Jets. So Aaron Rodgers get to play his old team week 1. I feel like NFL knew that was coming.
Yeah, that might be
but
interesting.
But do
that's
y'all think
definitely
that
interesting.
A-Rod committing this late, he didn't go through mini camp, he's gonna come back to mandatory. Do you think it'll affect him, or since he's been, going through 20 training camps, he hadn't missed much. He'll just come in and kind of pick it up.
I think he'll
I
come
think
in
he'll
and
be
he'll be
all
decent. I do think he'll be decent. There's gonna be a learning curve with this
right.
Pittsburgh
For sure.
offense.
Yeah.
But actually, ironically enough, I think the Jets win that Week 1 matchup.
With
Wow.
Fields,
Yeah,
How about that now? Against
I'm
that
think
defense?
I'm thinking
it's gonna be a
the
low scoring
Jets
game.
Jets defense is pretty good.
They're gonna muck it up.
And I'm thinking
Yeah.
Bryce. This is before the bad teams know they're bad too. So I'm like, I think Jets might actually give them a good run.
That one gonna be
Pittsburgh,
close.
No,
Pittsburgh doesn't start strong Week 1 either.
I
It could
give you
really
that.
go. Yeah, it could
I
really go
just
either
don't know
way.
how. I just don't know how Justin Fields plays against that Pittsburgh defense. I
Yeah,
just don't. I
If
just
I'm the
don't see it.
Jets, I kind of take a page from Baltimore when they first got Lamar. I'm leaning into that read option.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah, that
thinking
too.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm leaning into that read option. Look, Justin Fields, you're not a drop back quarterback. I'm gonna use him like RG3 in Washington. We gonna
Right.
do
Keep the
read,
turnovers down, and I think they'll be all right.
yeah, keep the turnovers down. We're gonna do some play action. It's gonna be you, Hall, and Garrett. When we pass that ball, Garrett Wilson. That's it. Nothing special. And maybe
If
Mason
it's
Taylor in the
me, if it's me, y'all remember when Notre Dame played Ohio State for the
flat.
championship?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when Notre
Uh-huh.
Dame did that first drive? They run a read off in every play.
So I'd ask Dennis a question, Vasquez, but now that A-Rod's walk through the door, is the over 500 streak for Mike is official.
It's over.
Oh,
I think they might go under 500.
you don't think A-Rod raises up the floor for the Steelers and the Steelers fans?
I do not think this is Brett Favre coming to Minnesota. No, I do not.
Oh, so this is Brett Favre to the Jets.
Yeah, I honestly think Pittsburgh does start out strong
It's go,
and fizzles, mad fizzles, because A-Rod, no offense, you're not Tom Brady, you're not Drew Brees, you're pretty old at that, you're done.
and he can't. A-Rod isn't as mobile as he used to be.
No.
So I think.
Now, he
Oh,
could prove me wrong if he comes out on this New York Jets defense and he's more looking pretty mobile. Because this is his second year after the Achilles,
That's
and
fair,
I've
yeah.
yeah, and usually how this injury works is your first year you're just getting back into the swing of it. Your second year is when you're back at, I ain't gonna say your physical peak, but you're pretty much normal at this point.
mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I'm gonna be nice to midnight. I'm gonna put $5 on A-Rod to win MVP and see how it goes.
MVP,
Man, hey.
boy, you
Hey, if you
tripping?
just want to give money, yo, go ahead and cash at me, bro.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
mean,
want. I'll
it'll go
take a
towards
five
the
So
dollar
no.
cause.
donation.
Here's why. Here's why. Last time we seen a motivated A-Rod, what did he do? He won MVP. When they drafted Jordan Love and they pissed him off, what did they do? What did he do?
I want you to remember that last year. When was the last time he won an MVP? How long ago was that?
It was
Just to remind me.
it was 3 to 4 years ago. Hey.
About 4 years ago, right?
Got 2 years off the Achilles. I'm being optimistic for the Steelers fan to give him a little hope before we get killed.
Okay, because I was
Now,
gonna ask you, what
if
makes you think he's motivated? because
I'll
all
say
his
this.
off the field antics don't tell me motivation. I mean, I'm just saying.
I've been more excited for this move, and honestly, might have been more happy about more pushing towards the MVP potentially if
If
they
they
kept
kill Pickens.
if they kept Pickens, and you got Pickens.
Well, yeah, that I
Even
would
both of
see
them
that.
crash outs, corralled would have been hard. But you would have kept Pickens, you would have kept DK. The O line they've been rebuilding it for the last 3 years. They got 2 first-round picks on it.
Solid
Would
run
have been more
game.
exciting. And then you got the run game. You got the rookie who's going to replace Najee. Najee, let's just be honest, he wasn't good last year. He was averaging 3.5 yards a carry.
Yeah,
Hey man, but he was consistent.
that fumble sealed it all though.
What, 3.5 yards carry? I could put you and me could go in there and average 2.5 behind a good line.
I was about to say that had to be a pretty good
Hey,
O line with me.
we put you behind the Eagle line, we could get 4.
So I'll take 5.
Oh man, just fall forward.
Just fall 4. All right, let's go on into our NFC West prediction for the divisions. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know. I hate to say this as an Eagles fan. The 49ers bounce back. I think the 49ers come back to win this division. Yeah,
I don't know about that, bro.
No, here's why.
I'm
Weakest schedule in football. Weakest schedule in football. Debo is an addition by subtraction. I don't care what nobody said. That rookie will post better. The rookie from last year will post better numbers than Debo because he actually can get off man coverage.
Yeah.
McCaffrey.
You hope.
No, he will. He will.
He's
and all
decent.
all those fails, they got the insurance policy. Jennings been on the bench for 3 years developing, and he was already better at beating man than what's it called. So I got 2 reasons to believe that Debo being gone is an addition by subtraction. There's less targets to a dude that can't get off man and is looking fat in the offseason. So I got a motivated young rookie who's trying to get paid. I got Jennings who's paid well below average, but hey, he gives you 600 yards. George Kittle back. McCaffrey's back. Trent Williams is back, the most important piece. Purdy is paid not too much above, not 60 million. And I think Kyle Shanahan has something to prove. I think they come back to win this division with the light schedule. We see Brock Purdy from 2 years ago. But I will admit it's gonna be a dogfight with Rams though. But the Cardinals, and no offense to the Seattle, I ain't worried about them. And as long as the Cardinals got Call of Duty, Kyler Murray, I ain't worried about them. And as long as Seattle got Seeing Ghost at quarterback, I really
wait, time out. He can build off this last year. I'm not saying he will.
Justin
That's
Jefferson
why we got
ain't
a
right
buyout after 1 year.
Justin Jefferson ain't the number 1 no more. Jordan Addison ain't the number 2. Now JSN is better than Addison. JSN better than Addison, sure.
I was about to say.
But if you tell me who would you rather have, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, or JSN and Cooper Kupp? Old Cooper Kupp.
All right, let me ask you something.
Decent.
Seattle's roster or San Francisco's?
What part are we talking about? Top heavy. San Francisco's got the more stars.
They all old and paid though. But I'll let you sit there. They are top heavy, but top down, top to bottom, which roster?
What position? It had to be a position.
Let's go
position.
Especially with the defense. Especially the defense.
Thinking about it too much. It's Seattle.
No, defense right now, fully healthy, I'll take the 49ers. Now, their health, they being old. Well, no, actually, I'll take the 49ers. They got Saleh back. I'm taking the 49ers. They got Robert Saleh back. They got a good defense.
You're putting a lot of faith in defensive formations and calls.
Hey, corners don't matter when you got Fred Warner.
Oh, he really just said, he Luke Kuechly now, huh?
Hey, he's been the best middle linebacker for the last 5 years.
He can subtly erase receivers.
I give you that. I mean, in my opinion, the 49ers will be okay. I don't think they bounce back to their glory days. Like Lavoski said, a lot of older players. Their D-line is decent.
I say both still
they're older. Yeah, but both will get hurt though. That's all.
Every strong is injury prone outside of Purdy. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Their corners are hurt. Safety, I think they're okay a little bit. They have some good safety plays.
Yeah.
Linebacker, of course, we know that. I
Mm.
just don't. I think they put so much pressure on Purdy this year after he get paid that it just don't look good. Like I don't see. I mean, they still have IU, right?
Yeah, it's the guy
You
you.
know,
Even though I
Yeah.
saw a crazy report that if it's true, I will change my whole tune. Apparently, I hope it was a lie. I'm hoping it's Twitter being Twitter. Apparently, I was getting mad about money. I'm like,
he
Huh?
you
just
just
got
got
He
paid.
just
paid
got paid.
and you was injured. What you can't ask for more
So
money right now, dog.
Yeah,
if
that's not
Purdy
how
doesn't have a
contracts
true
work.
number one, if you don't have a true number one, I don't know how this goes.
Oh yeah, no,
But
no. This is you're banking on IU coming back and at least being 1,100, 1,200 yard receiver. And I would say that rookie, I really do think Pearsall can replace Debo's 700 yards.
yeah, I think he can get 7.
Okay, that's a fair statement. I will sit here and say this. They got the easiest schedule. They also have the weakest roster in that division.
I ain't going that far. I ain't
I don't
going.
know
No,
about the weakest roster.
once you get over the fact that it's just a bunch of high end stars,
Oh,
you
well,
really
you talking
start to
about the
see the
depth? You talking about the
flaws
depth?
and yeah, you really see the flaws in this thing. And then you're sitting here telling me that okay, you know, they got both, so they got this. They are still the most injury prone team in the league.
I
Like
agree.
I agree.
their history, the way they play ball, the physicality of the
I
what
agree.
you call. There are some injuries, like they're
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sitting here taking all this in now. Now, will I say they're going to be last in the division? Of course not. They have the second best coach in their division. They're not going to be the worst. The Cardinals fizzle out at the end of the season.
Right.
Seattle needs maybe another year. Maybe now, if you get that Darnold
2.
from Minnesota, then we got a whole nother problem here.
Now,
But
if you get
if you
Darnold from
know,
Minnesota, then
but if you get an average Darnold with that roster, I still say they're a year away. With that being said, though, San Francisco is not good enough to at this point to where I'm like I can confidently sit there and say they can navigate the Cardinals in the early run, the Rams period, and
Right.
and the Seattle. Seattle is generally getting been pretty frisky with them. Now I know that was what Geno
so
did
about
with
to say,
them.
become Mr.
It's
Comeback.
yeah,
Hey, but
that's
here's
what
the thing about
Geno.
Gino. We might not even get in that situation with Sam Darnold. Gino threw go 4 for
That is a
4
fair
and went on
point.
the last drive.
Yeah,
I'll,
that is a fair
I'll
point.
give you that, but I also say this: if we say who's a better quarterback, who would you rather have?
Sam Darnold.
Who?
I'm being for real.
Out of who?
Arm talent wise, who's better, Sam Darnold or Gino?
Arm talent, Gino,
Arm
but
talent?
Gino
Probably Gino.
Gino takes you
No,
out
no,
of the
Gino
game.
decision
That's the
making.
thing.
Don't get it.
Everything else, Darnold though.
I mean,
Yeah.
my problem with Darnold is I saw him in with who? Who was the head coach? Kevin O'Connell was quarterback
Yeah.
whisperer. Seattle does not have a quarterback whisperer. He's going to a defensive coach.
But I don't think you give it Darnold a lot of credit. Like his first couple years was with the Jets.
Shit. Come
With
on now.
defensive
Yeah.
coach.
Jets and the Browns, you gotta give
Defensive
grace.
coach.
With the Jets and the Browns. I haven't it's not so and here's the thing. I don't think the Seattle coach is a bad coach. I
I
think
like
he's
Darnold.
average.
Yeah, I
So
like
I
him.
think Darnold retreats back down to the average. I don't think we get Minnesota Darnold, just for the record. But I do think we get a better version than what you saw with the Jets and the
Yeah.
Browns. Like, I don't think it was
Okay, I
bad
agree with
coaching.
that.
If we could just run the ball a lot more and take the
Yeah.
load off him, I think we'll be okay.
Now,
That's
yeah,
what my
Kenneth Walker
case
breaks
is.
out, Seattle becomes a viable place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
If
Kenneth
he
Walker,
break out and our defense get back to prominence, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I actually believe y'all gonna have a good defense. My problem with y'all is Kenneth Walker's in an injury prone because he has the talent to be a top 5 back. He just
Yeah.
always starts off good. Man, I hate to say it, you get him in fantasy, your first 5 weeks, you over here like, man,
Yeah. You
this
like
boy
Burton.
running, this about to be a top 5 running back by week 7. He hurt.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta go to the what's the waiver wire to go get me somebody.
Yeah.
Who y'all back? I gotta get the backup real quick.
Yeah.
But I think Seattle, I think defensively, I like what he's building over there with your defense.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, this is a crash I'll take here. It won't be till next year though. I think if Sam Darnold does, let's say he goes back to the Jets days. By the end of the year, I think Miro's gonna be getting snaps.
Oh, for sure. Miro looks solid. I mean, and I'm not
They
against it.
they're raving about him in camp. Like they're
Yeah, I'm not
raving
Yeah,
about
against
Miro.
it. I like Miro. I'm not
yeah.
against it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say Miro gonna step in like Lamar. No, that'd be too much. But by the
Mm.
end of the year, if Darnold look like a pumpkin, Miro will be taking snaps, and they're gonna be looking to see what he is. Just because they're
For
raving
sure.
about him in camp, the GM's talking about him, which usually is a good sign that that's the quarterback of the future.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like Miro.
But number
Miro.
two, I got the Rams. I don't think much need to be said. They're a good wash. The Jared versus a beast. That D line is still going to be a problem to deal with. They're young. They're hungry. I still only got one problem with the Rams. They should have replaced that running back. He was their weakness. Their running back was their weakness offensively because of fumbling. And
But
they
they
might
got
have
their
a
running
missing
back from
roster.
Michigan.
Yeah, but I say they got Blake Corum. Now, if
Yeah.
he tearing it up in camp, if I'm Sean McVay, I'm gonna at least do the 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
That way, we get in the playoffs and old boy been fumbling all year. Okay, we're gonna ride Corum.
Exactly. And running backs typically, if they got any salt about them, if they realize they have a fumbling problem. Adrian Peterson had the same thing. He had the uncharacteristic 12 fumble year.
Mm-hmm.
And he got in with his trainer. They worked on ball carrying techniques, and I mean, he had one fumble the next year. If
Yeah.
running backs typically, when they know it's a bad fumbling problem, the coaches talk with them, they correct it. You won't see that.
So yeah, Kyrie Williams is known the weakness. The O line could be better, but I love the Devontae Adams picking him up over Cup. I didn't hate the price. I like the price. So the Rams, they're gonna be here. They're gonna be in the playoffs. They're gonna be a problem to deal with. I think San Francisco splits. I think they're gonna get enough wins. I think 12-11 gets you the division.
You think San
You
Francisco
seriously
getting
think
12
that San
wins?
Francisco roster is getting 12 wins?
Have you seen that schedule? Have you
Go
seen that?
ahead,
Outside,
walk me their schedule. I need to hear this. Cause
all right,
ain't they playing ain't they wait, aren't they playing
I
what
don't
division
know,
they're playing
bro.
this year?
let me
Ain't it the North?
I'll put up a schedule. 49ers schedule.
You say you see 12 wins. I'm like,
So
Where?
starting off, so here's the starting four:
okay.
Seattle, Saints, Cardinals, Jaguars.
Okay, that's maybe three.
Yeah, I could see
3-1. Okay, let's
three
say
and one maybe.
Cardinals or Seattle probably might get them. Then you got the Rams. Then you got the Bucks. They play the South, by the way.
There's two losses.
Okay. Falcons, Texans, Giants. Any?
Uh,
You starting to get in the weeds now. I'm not seeing these wins.
yeah,
No,
Texas. I think Texas bounced back.
listen to this back half 5 game stretch.
Okay.
Panthers, Browns, Titans, Colts. They play both the South. They play the AFC and NFC South.
So you said wait, repeat them last 5 games?
Panthers, Browns,
That's not
Titans,
easy.
Colts.
Okay, that's not easy. Okay, I see 2-2 there.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, who's the two?
Um so we forgotten that our boy, I love the kid, but he can't throw in cold weather. What is the Browns? Is it at Cleveland?
Let me. It's at Cleveland on the
So
30th
no,
of
I
November.
don't think that's a gimme. Matter of fact, they
Yeah.
lost just last year in Cleveland
No, no.
to
Yeah.
a
Especially with
Your
that
hope
defense.
is your hope is it's November. By the end of November, the Browns are in tank for arch mode. They're gonna be throwing their third string out there against you.
I don't think this team can afford to tank. I don't think this coach can afford to tank. So you got to throw that one out the window.
So,
I mean, but who's gonna be their quarterback? I'm
I
saying
mean,
the Browns are they
in
gonna be better?
theory, you would think Dion, but I'm sitting here.
They talking about Deion. Shador might not make the roster.
yeah,
I'm
you're right.
saying in
It's probably
theory,
Flacco.
you're thinking Dion. It could be Flacco, which even more so, that's not a gimme anymore.
Yeah, you saw Flacco
Flacco's,
flashes.
Flacco's a Darnold. He gives you. All I'm saying is
Come on, man.
I'm saying, no. I'm saying Darnold like. I'm saying you know what? I'm gonna say Geno.
I'm sitting here like you're giving. I see what you're doing here, and you're attributing that they have the championship pedigree, and that's carrying them through a lot of these games.
Flacco flashed like what last year, the year before. I don't
And
think
when he
so.
got in the playoffs, he went right back to pumpkin mode.
Okay, we're not talking about playoffs. We know they're
Yeah,
gonna
No,
make
no,
it.
yeah,
no,
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
saying,
the Browns not making
think
the
about that
We
as
talking
a
about
playoffs.
the,
I'm
fan.
not here
we
to
talking about
say
these
that.
12 wins.
No, I'm saying, I'm
Oh,
saying, no, I'm saying. Think about this. If you were a Browns fans, why would you show me something if I can't get it? Why in the regular season are you comeback player of the year? We get to the playoffs, you
see,
5 picks immediately.
see, and with that mindset, that's what happened with Deshaun Watson. You shouldn't think like that.
Exactly.
Oh, and apparently Deshaun fighting to get back for training camp.
Hey, man.
Oh, this is funny. This gonna be it.
It's gonna,
This gonna be.
I don't get this quarterback battle in Cleveland, but that's a whole other conversation for a
Man,
whole other day.
My boy said he need to get the re-up.
But NFC South to AFC South, I think between both of those, they go 3-1 for both. I think they only lose potentially to the Buccaneers. They place the NFC South. And the AFC South, I'm gonna say Houston. And as long as they split between all their opponents, I ain't gonna predict no they're going 2-0. I don't want to be that guy. Because all Cardinals are a tough team. They're gonna be hard nosed. They can sneak one. Seattle, that's a rivalry game. They can sneak one. And the Rams, you get one against them. I think that's you've done enough.
yeah,
So between those, I think that's what 3 wins.
12 wins.
I don't
12
think
wins with a arguably weaker roster than last year.
No. See, that roster last year was injured. This roster, we actually got the top players back. Now,
So
I'm gonna
so
remember this.
you banking this is an injuryless season? That's what you're saying to
yeah,
me?
we bought it. We don't
They
bought it.
gonna come in like the Eagles? They gonna no injuries?
Yeah, no. Long as Trent stay healthy, their offense will be all right. Trent is the key. Trent get hurt, Purdy gone. Purdy getting towed up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trent get hurt.
So I pose a question to you. Pose a
Okay.
question. Just say Trent is healthy, Purdy is healthy, McCaffrey goes down. Who is their second string running back? They
Oh
traded
no,
him.
I ain't worried about nobody in no Shanahan scheme. He can go get us off the street and get 1,000 yards.
Man, man.
We see Jordan Mason killed it last year. Now what does go with McCaffrey is the receiving.
Yeah.
That's what you miss. But as far as running the ball, I don't any Shanahan scheme. I
I
just
mean
seen
that
people that
offense didn't look the same last year.
I
Is
know,
that
no,
is that a fair point to make?
it is, but Trent wasn't there. Trent makes the. I hate to say this, they're one team. It's the dumbest thing I ever seen. We don't got a good O line. We got an amazing left tackle, and the rest of these dudes are mid.
Ain't he like 37 now? 36 somewhere
Yeah.
in there?
Hey, Hall of Famer. Hey,
So
if I built the roster, this ain't how I would build the roster. Now, that's why I've been telling my brother Jeremy, John Lynch got to go. But you don't want to tell a 49er fan that he picked all the top talent. What about the rest of the roster? But
yeah, I don't know about that, bro. But
okay,
we gonna see.
Nah,
That's all we can do is play the
you
game.
know
That's
what?
that's
all
I'm
you can
gonna
do.
go
all.
to
Play the
y'all.
game.
I'm gonna go to y'all. NFC West. What's y'all prediction? I didn't have mine.
It's got to be the Rams. I'm going to go ahead and just go and flat out say I got Cardinals, then San Francisco, and
Okay.
then Seattle.
So you think Kyler he off Kyle?
No, no, no. I honestly, I see 10, 11 wins from the Rams, and I don't think another team gets over 8.
Mm,
That's
I
fair.
think it's
That's
a it's 8 wins down the line after that. Maybe San Fran can get 9. Maybe Arizona gets 9. They really tied Arizona and San Francisco. I just Kyler Murray. This is his moment. If he don't do it now, he's never gonna do it.
fair.
yeah,
With the amount of roster talent he has now, if he doesn't do it now, he's never gonna do it. So I'm like, this is the year. This is the weakest San Francisco you'll probably get,
especially not at
especially
Freddie
if
Stadium.
that. Yeah, I'm like, now's your moment. So that would be my lineup.
Chance, who you got? You gonna pull it? Seattle gonna win the division?
I'm realistic, man. Like I'm realistic. Man, kind of like Bosky said, Rams for sure. After that, it could be a three-way fatal. I mean, I would say Rams, and just due to camaraderie, the team staying together, 49ers, Rams, 49ers, Seattle Seahawks. And then depending on how the Cardinals take off like their first 5 games, depending on how that goes, they could jump Seattle. If not, they'll be number 4. It just really depends on how they go.
If they don't start hot, I think it's gonna be a
Yeah,
collapse. Yeah.
If
yeah.
that defense can kind of play like they did last year, I think they could be okay. If Marvin Harrison can get more involved, I think they'd be okay. But
That's really what I'm banking
yeah,
on.
if Kyle Murray looking like the Kyle Murray of old,
Like he
I
back
just
on
don't
COD.
see it. Yeah,
Like,
like he's back on Call of Duty. Yeah.
all right. The other division we are gonna talk about. The reason why I bought the NFC West up first because I could bring up two divisions actually. So we're gonna start with the first AFC East.
Ooh,
Anybody wanna? I
ooh,
got Buffalo. I ain't even for the city. I'm not even. I ain't got no crash. I'll take
ooh.
this one. I got Buffalo.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, this is a pretty cut
I'm
and dry
sure
one right
Buffalo.
here.
I got Buffalo. I will say this for the team number 2. Miami's finally got some toughness in the building. They finally did. No. Hear me out. They got a meat and potatoes draft. They drafted a defensive tackle and O line. They finally focused on the trenches. I've been asking for.
Rookies? You telling me rookies
No,
is
no, no,
gonna
no, no,
set your
no, no,
culture
no,
of
no, no,
toughness?
no, no, no. Yeah, oh, Kenneth Grant will. Kenneth Grant's a run stopper. He's not here to be pass rushing. He is a run stopper. His comparison was Vince Wilfork.
No, I get what you're saying, but rookies don't tend to set culture. That's not how that
They don't
goes.
need it because Jalen Rams are walking out the door. So they need some. Hey,
Like I said, Miami a tire fire waiting to happen.
I got Miami at 2. Jets, I love the defense. Like I always say, I love the defense. I love the defense. I love the coach with that defense. Justin Fields, it makes me hesitate on anything just because I didn't seen this man with
He
some.
was he was he was 5-1 with the Steelers though.
That was a defense, bro. Let's be honest.
I'm not saying I'm
He
not
didn't
That,
throw
that
denying
was
the
a
that,
game
but you
defense a
don't
away.
week.
think
That was a
you don't
defense a
think
week
the
schedule.
Jets defense is
Week schedule.
oh yeah,
He
the weak
didn't throw the
schedule too.
game away,
You
but
see, when they right before they played the Ravens, they put Russ right back in. They was like, "Oh, Baltimore, Lamar, a nigga that can pass, whoop, swap."
Oh god.
We ain't playing no more pumpkins. Justin Fields, we like what we saw, but come on over here to the bench. That's why I got them 3. Actually, only reason I love what New England did this offseason with the coaching. I love for the different off-season pickups. I love that draft. There's only one reason I ain't gonna put them 3 above the Jets. Stephon Diggs. I don't know if he gonna.
I don't think he's focused on
Yeah, I
football.
don't think he focused on football. And that's my problem right now with
he
them.
showed up to OTAs, man.
2 days after appearing on the yacht with some purple stuff in his hand, we don't know what it was.
It was grapes, man. I like grapes.
It was a powdered substance. That's all
It
I'm gonna
it,
say.
it it didn't look like grapes to me.
Yeah, he was in Florida with 3 girls that wasn't even his girlfriend. Gonna throw
Oh,
that
it's
one.
it's
She was on the boat.
diabolical.
She was on the boat.
She was on
Was
the
he?
boat. Would your girl let them 3 girls be around you like that
I
alone?
ain't got no girl. That ain't my problem.
Would your girl let you be around 3 girls
Hell
in
no.
bikinis?
Not even a thought.
So I don't know what I'm gonna get from Stephon Diggs. If he's focused, okay, he's 1,000 yard, 1,100 yard receiver. Then I can see the Patriots being number 3 and looking better, especially with Vrabel. Vrabel's known to be an underdog type of coach, and
Yeah,
to be kind of like Mike Tomlin, where he gets his team to overachieve.
yeah.
So, but Drake may need a receiver, and right now all he has is young receivers. He needs Stephon Diggs. So if I can't count on him, I'm reluctantly putting them in 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're 3. Maybe if Vrabel might just sneak some wins, get them to 2. Buffalo winning this division though.
Yeah, no, it's not
And the
even a
reason
thought here.
and the reason why I grouped these 2 together, AFC West. Anybody want to be that guy? Anybody? Anybody want to be that guy? AFC West. Anybody
The
want to
guy
take?
for
Anybody take
who?
khaki pants? Anybody take khaki? Anybody
List
take
out the
khaki
team.
pants to Denver Broncos?
You
List out
know
the team.
what? You know what? I'm gonna be that guy.
Oh,
Go ahead.
This is the year.
oh,
Khaki pants. Now I ain't even finna cry. I'm not even finna front with you. I think this is the AFC West is gonna be that team with multiple 10-win teams.
I can see that. The three.
And I honestly, I love Sean Payton, I really do. But man, it's getting the rosters getting spooky out there. The Raiders are a lot better. You don't got your punching bag no more.
I give you that. Oh yeah,
There's a
Tennessee.
scenario where I could see Sean Payton being the worst team at 8 wins in that division.
Oh, whoa, you think Pete
I
Carroll get
think
9 to 10?
I'm not gonna
The
lie to
Raiders?
you. I like the Raiders acquisitions. I like Pete Carroll, high
So
energy thing. I think the Raiders are what's the word? Spunky,
you got Genty.
feisty. Yeah, they'll be feisty this year. They're gonna upset some teams. And Kansas City, I love them to death. That schedule's brutal.
Yeah.
That schedule's brutal, and that's going to knock them down. I think, Kaki, this is your year. You have the roster figured out. You might need a little, you got a couple keys to work out on the offense. But now that we got Herbert with a little bit more talent there, I think that should be enough to get you.
I love their old line because they stole. I'm mad about this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
stole Beckman from the Eagles, put
Yeah,
him in the guard right in front of Najee. Najee might break out this year because he's on a 1-year deal.
exactly.
And he got that old line blocking for him and Herbert.
Exactly.
And I'm going to say this. My breakout player, I think is on the Chargers. I think Ladd might get 1,200.
Hmm.
Well, yeah.
I think Ladd might get 1,200 and 8 touchdowns this year, just because he's showed you he's your best receiver against man coverage. Now y'all need to scheme up for him. And this Quentin Johnston, him getting 60 cut that out. He ain't the number one.
No.
The white boy is. And we already know the Chargers defense gonna be like that. But I ain't gonna be that guy. I'm taking the Chiefs. I can't go against Big Red. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh no, part of me wants to, but I'm like, I already had 2 crash out takes with the 49ers and Titans.
Okay.
It's only so many worse than first. It's only those are my only 2 worst the first.
So Chiefs, Chargers?
I think Chiefs Chargers. I think Chiefs
Chargers.
Yeah,
I ain't
by
know.
the fence.
I like Oakland. I like Oakland. My problem,
I say Broncos.
I say Geno gonna lose you some games off the pick.
And Vosky, let me speak on this for you. Okay. Geno, because we've experienced it for a long time. What's going to happen is Geno is going to be the number 1 passer in the league for the first 6 weeks. You like, damn. He's going to have 16 touchdowns with about 14 picks. It always happens. It never fails. He is the modern day Jameis Winston, 30 for 30, balling with 5,000 yards. It's going to happen.
He 30 for 30 with comebacks.
I'm banking on the defense actually has a really tenacious pass rush already.
Oh yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, Max and Christian Wilkins. Oof.
Pete Carroll is going to stick with this run game, which is going to, in effect, minimize the damage that Geno can do. He's not going to be throwing 30. I don't think he's going to be throwing 30 times. I think he might be throwing 20 to 25.
Oh, so you going to hit the Jalen Hurts game plan? We going
exactly.
we go hand that thing off.
Think instead of 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, we might get 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Or 1 and 1 will get you there most of the time. But that pass rush right there, you'll be able to. All you need is a lead. Yeah. And with the way their schedule is set up, it's kind of easy in the beginning half. So if Geno catches fire, like you say, they could run some of these bad teams out the door. Now, when they get to their division, I think it's gonna be dicey. Yeah, it's gonna be dicey. I don't think they do well in their division. Maybe 3-3 is what the best case scenario is.
Looking at the schedule, okay, so Raiders start off with Patriots win. Chargers, that's dogfight. I think Chargers win.
Yeah.
Commanders, I can see.
I can see the Commanders one.
I can see upset there because the Commanders struggle against the run. Bears, toss up.
I could see it.
Yeah. Colts, tight. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. That middle.
Yeah.
After you get the Commanders, it's Bears, Colts, Titans. Then after the Chiefs, you got Jaguars.
Yeah.
So I could see them being at 6 wins.
Yeah, and then all you need at that point is what, three
Couple more,
more out of that.
a
Yeah,
couple 1-and-1s in the division.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You just got to go split with your division,
So you
and
sound like you believe Ashton Genty gonna be a top five back.
I do think that's my competition for rookie of the year. That's what I'm banking on.
Okay.
I, I think he's rookie of the
Wait.
year,
Who's
or
rookie of the year?
he's
Genty.
Ashton Genty, yeah.
yeah.
Pete
I
Carroll,
feel
I
like
think
he
he's
can if they let him be him though, because they already trying to change everything about his stance and all that. I mean that's Chip Kelly though, but you know how Chip Kelly.
wait, Chip Kelly Dorsey?
Well, they changed his
Wait,
offense, his stance or something like that.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Chip
because
Chip Kelly
Genty just
Dorsey?
sent up straight. I think it is Chip Kelly. I mean, not the OC, but I think he's like running back coach or something.
Let's see.
I
Oh,
think I
snap, Chip
seen it.
Kelly the OC.
wait.
Oh man, that might.
I got him fourth.
I ain't
You
even gonna
lost.
lie. I
You
ain't even gonna
know
lie.
what? You know what? You know what? You know what?
I might move him down a little bit.
You know
I
what?
didn't know that
Yeah,
was the.
You know
I
what?
didn't
You
know
know
that
what?
was the OC.
I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. As long as he ain't running the no huddle scheme from Oregon, he running the Ohio State scheme, the run first.
I do think because he's in that Ohio State year taught him something. He was a lot more grounded.
And he wasn't as no huddle. So if
Yeah,
he's Chip Kelly with the Ohio State, we're gonna run this ball play action because we did see
Oh
single
man.
back and I form that we never saw at Oregon. We never.
exactly.
So as long as we don't see the days of inside zone play action, I might keep them at 3. I don't know though. Denver is not a.
Oh,
Boy, this ain't a scrub. This is a
Man,
tough
yeah,
division.
Denver got better this
this
offseason.
is a great division. I think they're the AFC North last year.
Yeah,
They have that same problem. I'm just like Kansas City schedules murders row. The blueprints out on them. That invincible armor. I mean, you could say what you will. Maybe it's still there, and maybe they're just LeBron James. They get out of there. They get out of
I
their conference, and then they get folded by the NFC. But I think some of the mystique that Kansas City has died with that run.
I agree, but I also will give Kansas City this. They overcorrected. You saw they bought in 3 tackles to make sure that Joe Tooney, and they moved Joe Tooney off the team. Now, granted, is a rookie, so we don't that could be 50-50, especially his rookie year. He's gonna have some learning curves. And if I'm the
And
Raiders,
I love the
put Max Crosby
mindset.
right across him.
But the problem here is, I just did they cure is do you think they get back that old explosive? Because I really think that's what they're missing. Did they
I don't think
cure the
so.
explosive
I
plays?
think,
Like,
I think you have to. I think now that old boy's back, he's gonna be back in slot to have across the middle. I think Worthy has to break out for them to get back to what they used to.
yeah, that's what I'm like too. You're
Right.
banking on Wordy, and I just don't know. This is a bad division for Wordy because all of the defenses are pretty much outside of maybe Seattle, not Seattle, outside of maybe the Raiders are gonna bump and run you.
Yeah.
They're gonna play physical in your face, man. I know how Sean Payton and they run their defense. They're
Oh yeah.
physical, man. People tend to forget Denver almost had them last year.
No, they had him. If it wasn't for a blocked field goal, they won that game.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
win that game. That's what I'm like too, and I'm just like, your division's no gimme, your schedule's not a gimme. You're basically running the same team back with a reshuffled O line, which we don't know how that's gonna work out.
And defensively, they lost. Let me go to it. Defensively, they lost Reed, so they'll have a new secondary. You lost Jerry Sneed 2 seasons ago, so you're just down to Trent McDuffie.
Yeah,
You lost your middle linebacker too.
which one?
I want to say Gay.
They didn't. Okay, okay.
Let me see. Chiefs. They lost a linebacker. They
It,
lost a linebacker and they lost Justin Reed.
As long as it's
it,
not
it- it's gonna be a learning curve.
yeah, that's what I'm like. They're gonna have to learn all this on the fly. Now, Mahomes is off the
Yeah,
greatness of
Mahomes got
Mahomes. I think,
Yeah.
like, I don't feel the same way I feel about the 49ers. Like, we're overvaluing the roster here. Mahomes carries this team to 11 wins. I just
Yeah.
think
And then Andy
the
Reid
Chargers are in the
yeah,
prime spot
to
to
make a
run the table.
yeah. Yeah. I said AFC. I knew AFC East would be a yeah.
No, there's no
You know,
offense.
we're gonna have.
Miami's a tire fire, and my hot take is that they're like fourth in their division this year.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that take. My problem with Miami hasn't it isn't the quarterback or the offense. It's the coach.
No,
Yeah, the coach.
To me, it's the coach. He
He's
don't set
just
the coach.
immature.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
immature. He don't set the culture. He's a great one of them people I think is a great offensive coordinator. But I think he's a great head coach.
Right.
And as much as Miami fans hate to tell me this, I thought Flores was a better coach.
yeah, yeah. I actually do see what you're
Yeah.
coming.
I
Like,
was
so
outside of how Flores treated Tua.
Man, Tua needs somebody like that, bro.
Now,
no, I don't think he
I think
does.
Tua needs to be
I
caught up.
really don't think.
Nah,
I do think
Tua
he needs
fall.
to be caught up.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think Brian Flores should have took you a Belichick protege. You think you would take this mindset? Hey, let the OC handle the quarterback, and
Mhm.
I'm going to get everybody else in line.
Yep. And maybe, we can't say Tua can't take tough coaching. He was with Nick Saban. But Nick Saban is a legend, though. So
Man,
I
that
think you
team was
got to get that.
loaded, bro. You
Well,
gonna have
here's the
this
thing.
one.
I think Nick Saban, he just got on the errors. Like,
Mhm.
it was no. And then Brian Flores, I know what he saw. He's seen great quarterback play. He's seen Tom Brady, and he's like, this kid's not it.
He wanted Justin Herbert. He flat out
Yeah,
said he
and
wanted Justin
yeah,
Herbert, or I'd rather have Justin Herbert or heck. And thank God Miami didn't do this one. He was like, give me Justin Herbert or give me Deshaun Watson before you give me Tua. Granted, we all didn't think Deshaun Watson wasn't going to fall off that bad. Deshaun Watson used to be a top 5, top 10-ish quarterback. So I could get the rationale before,
the allegations broke out.
before the allegations. But the Justin Herbert one, he was right.
Yeah, it's not even close. And
Yeah,
it's crazy because Tua had the better career at this point.
statistically, but as far as the eye talent, and
Yeah,
as far
no,
as,
the eye test
as
is
far as the
not.
eye
It's not
test and
even
who you
close.
rather pay the money to be a top paid quarterback,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we all give Herbert money before we give Tua.
yeah. And the injury history just kills me. I'm of the mindset I'm not paying no injury prone quarterback.
Especially concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially concussions. Like, this ain't no slight to him. I love Tua. It's just, man, you playing with these concussions, and it'll be the softest hits that do it too. I'm like, man, I didn't think that one would have did it.
Carson Wentz,
Yeah,
I think Tua. My problem with Tua is the same thing with him, Dak, Trevor Lawrence. I don't hate them at quarterback. I just hate them at their price.
exactly.
I was paying y'all Baker
That's
Mayfield
right.
money. If I was
Oh,
paying
it's
you Baker Mayfield money, oh yeah, I could take Tua's lack of production because I could build the rest of this team. But now that I'm
exactly.
paying you Pat Mahomes money,
And then Tyreek already wild, and so I'm like,
Yeah.
I've always said at this point, why don't I just trade Tyreek, get some picks back, and just go ahead and put Waddle at the number 1.
yeah. Now, if they do that, I think they jump up. Actually, I'm not saying this in addition by subtraction. I'm just saying Tyreek's a distraction on top of all the other problems you got is not gonna get you there.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all, that was everything that we had on our list. Next week we get back, we're gonna talk about actually my next wild I'll take the NFC North. Yeah, but we're gonna wait for midnight to come back on that one.
Hell
But
yeah.
we're gonna holler at y'all midnight. We missed you, man. Come back so we can talk about your OKC getting what the Halliburton.
Exactly. You told me I was different. What happened though? This is the same thing with the Knicks. The same game I just watched. Identical. Knicks was up like what 15 with 2 minutes left. They wind up
Yeah.
finding a way to lose it. You were like OKC would never. Well, OKC just did.
You know, Terrence, you're a better man than me. I've been popping off.
I'd have been like, yeah, there ain't no way.
I'd be like, when he would have had to look at the
I'm
pod
trying to be peaceful.
for next episode.
But I would say, hold on, I would say,
okay.
before the game started midnight, you did say take notes. We don't want notes. We don't want that.
You better win game 2. That's all I'm saying.
You better win game 2. You better win game 2. And as y'all can see, we out. We out.